morning, good morning, good morning. Yes, it is your boy, Trey Sensen. Getting a late start to the day, but we're going to roll on and try to get this fragrance review out for you today. So, before we get into this, though, you already know what it is. A little bit of a review, a little bit of a discussion. You know, we're going to talk about a particular fragrance. But I need something from you before we get started. I need you to like this video. I need you to share this video. I need you to sub to the channel. And if you don't mind, continue to check in and let me know where you're watching from. We got folks watching from Australia. We got folks watching from Chicago. We got folks watching from Puerto Rico. We got folks watching from VA. We got folks watching from Memphis, 251 area code in my home state of Alabama. Mississippi is in the house, man. All over the globe, tapping in. And Ohio is constantly checking in. Ohio is becoming a pretty constant tap in, and that's pretty cool with me. Yeah, all right, no further ado, let's get to it. I'm gonna take my glasses off, because you know when you get serious, that's the one thing about wearing glasses. When you get ready to say something serious, you can take them things off. All jokes aside, this, in my opinion, may be either the best or the second best John Varvatos fragrance that I own. It's definitely top 2, top 3. It's in the, if not the best. And this is John Varvatos Artisan XX. I know this has been out a while, and I understand that. But here's the beautiful thing about this fragrance. This fragrance is now selling at TJ Maxx for $28 to $29. And for that price, it is hard to beat. Now this fragrance has a few notes like geranium and bergamot, and what you're gonna pick up on that geranium, and that's gonna give it a slightly green feel, and you're gonna pick up on that bergamot, but it's gonna come off in the form of like a bitter citrus. Now, what this fragrance resembles to me is Hermes. It resembles Hermes, and it resembles Phaeton. That's what it comes across to me. Phaeton is one that's a little harder to get your hands on because you're gonna have to order it, and Hermes is just expensive. Like I saw, and I laughed at this because I'm thinking, what are y'all doing? TJ Maxx, I don't know where they got the price for this, but they got it completely wrong. It was a Hermes gift set, red tagged at TJ Maxx for $80. And every time that I have looked at, I've had Hermes in my hand at TJ Maxx several times, and the price is always $20 or $30 too high. And I'm like, I don't know why this particular fragrance they keep marking so high. You're liable to go in there and see a Creed fragrance marked for $15, sitting right beside a Terry Hermes fragrance for $250. I mean, sometimes the things that they do just doesn't make sense, but I digress from that. This fragrance right here, to me, this is one of the best John Varvatos fragrances made. I like this. I like all the Artisan fragrances. I absolutely love Artisan Pure, but this is something a little bit different. This is classy. This is musky. This is fruity. This is masculine. It's an easy to wear fragrance, but it's got a little something extra in it. It's got a little bit of a regalness to it. I don't know if it's just the mixture of the notes, but it just gives me, again, a slight resemblance, especially in the dry down, to Phaeton, which we all know is a clone of Hermes. Now, pound for pound, is this as good as Phaeton? No, it's not. It's not. It's not made with the same oil thickness ingredients that Phaeton is made with. If it were, if it were made with that type of oil concentration, then this would be an absolute banger of a fragrance. You're gonna get decent longevity, you're gonna get decent projection, nothing just mind-blowing, but nothing weak either. It's not like, a cologne concentration or when the first John Varvatos fragrances, or when I first started getting into John Varvatos fragrances, like Artisan and Artisan Blue and Artisan Aqua. Absolutely love those fragrances. Some of the most beautiful, eye-catching bottles that you'll ever come across, but performance is lackluster. I get pretty good performance from Artisan Pure. I also have Artisan Black, which is one that's hard to find, very, very hard to find. I have that one. So I'm a fan of John Varvatos fragrances. The only problem with John Varvatos fragrances and fragrances like John Varvatos and English Laundry in certain houses is they come out at a very high retail point. And by high, $100 to $120, $130. That's high when you know you're going to be picking the fragrance up, a little bit later for $30. So you have to kind of let them come out and let the hype die down, and then you're going to be picking them up. You don't have to be the first to have everything, you know what I'm saying? But, oh my goodness, that's really good. And it has a little bit of a creaminess running through the bottom of it. This is just a really good fragrance, guys. For $29, I'm gonna encourage you to buy this fragrance. And that's not something that I do a lot. It's say, hey, buy this fragrance. But I'm gonna say it in the way that old Trey Ray would normally say it. Listen to me now, believe me later on, because for $29, I think this is a fragrance that would be able to slide in most of your collections and be worn, especially if you're, a guy like me holding on to his last days in the 40s, fixing to turn 50. I don't look it, and I certainly don't act it. Well, I do when it comes to responsibility, but hell, I've been responsible since I was 5, because that's the way it was when we came up. Man, sound like that old head. Y'all know I used to have to walk to school in the snow both ways. Did y'all know that? Did. It's uphill both ways. But seriously, this is one that I think will slide in any of our collections and be just fine. It's that type of fragrance. Again, a little bit of woodiness, a lot of masculinity, a little bit of green, a little bit of fruit. Nice. That dry down is where it's going to really, really work, and that's when it's going to turn into a similar version to Hermes or to Phaeton. And I don't tell you that to tell you that it's a clone. I tell you that for 2 reasons. For one, I'll just bring it into how it affected my life. Artisan Pure. I had went to the mall to get my now ex-wife, I want to say it was Wonderlust by Michael Kors. She had smelled it and just was having a fit. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to surprise her with it. And I had a Dillard's account, of course, so I was but at that time, I wasn't paying $100 for fragrances, not for mine anyway. But you do things for your others that you won't do for yourself. At least men do anyway. So, and while I was in there, of course, I knew, don't get too starstruck because you spend $1,000 in here easy. Like, now I do it at the drop of a hat and pay it off in a month. But when you have a family, it's different. You have to move different. I smelled Dior Homme Cologne and was in love. I was like, yeah, gotta get that. And I put it in my mind, I gotta get that fragrance. I gotta get it. I just put it back here. So we went to a TJ Maxx in Jasper, Alabama, which is just below Birmingham, one Sunday after church, and I came across Artisan Pure. Never smelled it, didn't know anything about it, but I knew, hey, that's a John Varvatos fragrance. It's in a gift set, and it was like $32, $33. I said, I got that. I had $150 to pay at Dillard's for Dior Homme Cologne, but I got that. I had no idea got to the car on the way home. I got to the car, get settled, open my package up, spray it, an instant joy, because that's what it reminded me of, was Dior Home Cologne. So I was just like, I no longer have to buy Dior Home Cologne, and I didn't. So anytime I get that fixed, I either wear my Jimmy Choo Man Ice or my John Varvatos Artisan Pure. And they both pull tons and tons of compliments, so I didn't need the Dior Home Cologne. So that's why I'm telling you that this one is similar to Hermes or Phaeton, because you may have wanted Hermes and just didn't want to pay that Hermes price, or just never got around to buying it. That's why I'm telling you that this is going to be very similar. Is it exact? No. But when you get to the dry down, and it could be the vetiver, it could be vetiver that's tying the two together. I absolutely love vetiver. Love it. Of course, that's why I put it in tray day. Love vetiver. So it could be the vetiver that's tying the two together. Vetiver is an extremely underrated note. It gives a fragrance, in my opinion, a certain crisp, clean, but at the same time masculine and regal feel. Vetiver will make an inexpensive fragrance smell like money. It'll make somebody think you've spent a lot of money on a fragrance, and I think this is what that's what this one is going to do. And I'm pretty sure, now that I say it out loud and think about it, it's going to be the vetiver in the two that makes them similar, but at the same time gives them both that feel of class and expense. That's what you're going to get with this. Yep. And it's going to be that sweet vetiver in the dry down. So here we go. Bright orange, bitter orange, neroli orange in the top, and in the bottom, when the money starts to come to work, the vetiver is what you're going to get. And I think this is definitely worth the $29 that you are going to pay for it at at TJ Maxx. You may find it cheaper at Joma Shop. You may find it cheaper on places like Macari, but for $29, why bother? Because you ain't got to worry about it being a knockoff. You ain't got to wait for it to get shipped. You don't have to wonder about whether it's been stored properly or improperly. You got it, get it, good. From the house of John Varvatos, it is John Varvatos Artisan XX, a John Varvatos XX Artisan. And as you see, it's in a smooth wicker bottle. I like this gray. I like it. It's slick, it's smooth. Beautiful fragrance. One I definitely think you should add to your collection, and I think you will like it and enjoy it. Now, with that being said, nothing else to say about this one, man. Get it. Listen to me now. Believe me later on. I don't think you would be disappointed. And I also think it's a fragrance that you can wear 3-4 months out of the year. This could be a daily driver. This is another one of those $30 daily driver. Can't miss with this fragrances. You can wear it in the spring, you can wear it in the summer, you can definitely wear it in the fall. Maybe not heavy enough for the winter, but definitely spring into summer and then into the first part of the fall. You can rock John Varvatos Artisan Pure. I knew I was going to do that. John Varvatos Artisan XX. But we don't cut and take none of the bloopers and all of that stuff out. I give it to you just like I get it from Colombia, baby. Straight, raw, uncut. There it is. But anyway, guys, listen. I love you all, man. And thank you all for checking in and tuning in to this video. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you all have a beautiful, beautiful Monday. I love you all, man. And may God bless you all. Until next time, guys. Peace.